again, in crypto, you don't need adoption in order for the price to go up. You just need hype, you just need to be in a narrative, and you just need people talking about you. Those three things. As long as Bitcoin's getting in. Oh, Evan, you have requested. Hello, good sir. Let's bring you on up here.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What up, dude? Oh, you got the microphone.
I got the crispy mic. I look like Weird Al because I got the headphones on, pulling my hair back. But
yeah, you do. And then you have like your fifth button unbuttoned, man. What a vibe.
Oh, sorry. You know, I want people to take me seriously, and I also don't want to appear every time with my shirt off. So this is like a safe middle ground for me and my audience, so nobody gets triggered and everybody takes me seriously.
It's a very safe middle ground between half naked and fully clothed. So we're in like three-quartered clothed.
Hey man, you're courting that line quite well yourself, if I do say so.
Ooh.
Sun's out, guns out, but here we are.
Yeah, man. Well, hey, guys, we're gonna get the show kicked off now for Rise Up After Dark. We have 6 cryptocurrencies on the board, and just so you guys can actually see them, let me flip it around for those of you who are just hopping in. So we're going to be going through Fetch, Pi, Arbitrum, Rune, which is also called Thorchain, Quant, and Doge. And thanks to you guys in chat, you've already told us that there's some chit chatter about Quant over the past couple of days, about Quant potentially getting staking. We'll look into that. I know Evan's chomping at the bit to talk about Pi. Pi. And, you know, one of the things, too, that we'll do is we'll take a few coins from the audience, as we always do. Probably like, you know, maybe the 3rd coin, the 5th coin, 6th coin, something right around there. We'll go to you guys for a coin. I already have a few written down that you guys have given in the beginning, and then we'll get things started. Also, Alex will be joining us later. He just got off a flight. So for a while, you know, we're not going to have the beautiful beard that Alex has, but you have our faces, Evan's amazing hair, and both of our chest hair here to guide us through tonight's episode of Rise Up After Dark.
You're in good hands, and especially if you're joining us and you're new and you're like, oh, I'll learn about crypto. Don't worry. There's lots of stuff that you'll hear and you won't understand, but we'll unpack it with you. We promise. Just follow us, stick around, and join the conversation.
Yeah, and also you got me feeling like I need like a boom microphone now. Your voice sounds heavenly.
Listen, man, do you know why I really brought this microphone? I'll tell you this one thing and then we get started. Sure. I brought this microphone because it is connected to the soundboard, the official soundboard of the official morning show of the Financial Revolution. So when we have a token that we don't like, I might say something like, goodbye. You know, I will try to be restrained. I have a lot of great Alex clips that are on another file for it that I'll bring back and introduce you to sometime. So that's why I have the microphone. And also because then we won't have the echo problem. This is just a better microphone than my little headphones.
Okay, so, well, fantastic. I look forward to hearing whatever soundboards you have with Alex's voice in them. And Neil, you're correct. We now need lasers. Maybe
we big need lasers.
Maybe we can invest in them one day.
Maybe when Coinbase lists Brett, then we'll get lasers.
Yeah, when Coinbase lists Brett and also Coinbase releases
and Pi.
Pi. Yeah, I was gonna say wrapped Bitcoin, but you know, that one seems around the corner. Oh, thank you, Aaliyah. I appreciate the superpower.
Now we got lasers.
Now we got lasers. You're right. So guys, first coin up is Fetch. I'll do the overview on this. Evan, if you can start pulling up a few things.
Yep.
So guys, Fetch, if you've been in the crypto space since 2023, really, and the AI trends started getting super hot, you've heard of Fetch. Fetch is one of the leading AI cryptocurrencies out there. It is a part of the ASI merger, which is between Fetch, Ocean, and Singularity Net, right? That is a merger between those 3 different cryptocurrencies to try to combine their resources to become a more effective AI solution built on the blockchain. Fetch, in particular, was a focus on developing and deploying AI modules and AI applications on the blockchain, right? And that was Fetch's piece of that ASI merger. It has been a leader in the space. It has performed very, very well when the crypto market was hot. It is on the top of mind of a lot of cryptocurrency investors. And that's about all I have to say regarding the overview. I have my personal opinions on it. If you guys know me, you know I am hyper critical of artificial intelligence coins because I spent 7 years in the AI space. But before I go on my usual tirade about AI cryptos, Evan, do you have anything else to add about that?
Honestly, I was actually going to ask you to go on your tirade. I would say just for me to come back to later, the thing that matters most in terms of, is it an investment I should spend any of my time or attention on is attention. Are all of these things, like you said about Tao, causing people to see this token and associate it with that story and hear that narrative and want their opportunity to get in, and people go for convenience. And when they're emotionally driven, the clicks happen fast. So this is I think a target for that. I wish you would go on your rant though, because I really think it's very helpful context, your perspective from experience on AI and crypto. Yeah, you better stretch, man. This is a warm up required. You at home, I hope you're touching your toes. Take a deep breath and get a pencil and paper. I learn a lot from Will. He's about to preach. So please. And then I'll bring up some numbers to help you out in the end, and we'll give it a grade.
All right. So I'm going to say two things here out the gate, and we're going to go down both different paths. One is I hate this coin. The other is you can definitely make money off of it if the market gets hot. Okay, so do two very different tracks, right? Two very different tracks, and both can be true at the same time. I could hate this coin and still make money off of it. Okay, yeah. So keep that in mind. Now, quick background on myself. I have an AI and machine learning background. I worked in the space for 7 years. I worked at the company that created analytics 60 years ago. And then I worked at the company that has the actual top ranked data scientists in the world in the AI machine learning space, helping Morgan Stanley implement AI, helping the Toronto Stock Exchange implement AI, helping the Canadian National Healthcare System implement AI, and a whole bunch of other stuff, okay? So the thing I hate about Fetch is that their targeted audience will never use it. Now, who is Fetch's targeted audience, right? They want people to come on, build and deploy AI modules into their AI marketplace. Who are the people who build those? Data scientists, okay? Now you have to ask yourself the question. The idea of having an open AI marketplace sounds really good and marketable, but the thing is we already have that. It's called open source. Right? It's not on the blockchain, but it's an open ecosystem where data scientists across the world for quite some time now go and build and put their work out for free. They take on projects that companies reach out to and just kind of like hire data scientists, kind of like mercenaries, if you will, to off of open source. It's a way where data scientists can build their resume to then go and get a job that pays them a ton of money, right? But also a lot of it is just people helping each other for free for the sake of this open kind of decentralized approach to building better AI and machine learning models. So if that already exists in the centralized system that we have, what does taking this AI marketplace and putting it on the blockchain and putting a token with it do? Is it solving a pain point that exists in the world? No, there isn't a pain point that exists in the world that Fetch is trying to solve. And also, if you're a data scientist, building, retesting, and deploying models is already a very time-consuming and very difficult job. So why make it more difficult by then taking this onto the blockchain, incorporating wallets, incorporating cryptocurrencies? It's additional next steps that would make a data scientist not want to use that. So those are my opinions on Fetch. And the reason why I hate almost all AI coins, it's not really particular to Fetch, is just because they know they're not going to get adoption amongst their targeted audience, and they're just here to make money off of the AI trend. Which brings us to the next bucket, that you can still make money off of Fetch. If I hate it and it can't get adoption, how can it make money? A cryptocurrency doesn't need adoption in order for the price to go up. What it needs is, first of all, it needs Bitcoin to go up, right? We need to be in a bull market. That's first and foremost. The second thing is it needs to be in a hot trend. AI is a very hot trend.
Smoking
right?
hot.
Smoking hot, baby. It's so hot right now.
Might need to do another button.
Oh, thank God! I gotta rip off this. I'm just turning into a toga. but it's in a hot ecosystem or a hot trend. And it's proven to be one of the leaders of that trend. So money's going to flow to it no matter what. So just because I dislike this coin greatly doesn't mean I think you can't make money off of this, so long as there's strength in the market, therefore strength in Bitcoin, right? Because people will take bucket loads of money and throw it as pure speculation at AI plays in both the blockchain space, but also the traditional world as well. It's fitting into just a huge wave of speculation across both the blockchain and traditional financial world of the AI bucket. So those are my thoughts on Fetch. I'll hold off on my grade for now, but Evan, do you have anything else?
Listen, man, I do want to add just some numbers for people to give them an idea of how that narrative might play out. I agree with you completely. Thank you for the lesson. I really value it. That's why you come and listen and follow Will. For perspective, over time, Fetch, I believe, before the merger, was the longest established and best performing, you could say overall by a number of metrics, token. And probably, they had the product. But their market cap over time, it has, peaked recently at about $6.3 billion. Okay. That puts them, in a comfortable spot in this AI narrative because people know who they are when they come to CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap. But it also gives them a lot of room to grow based on historically the kinds of growth we have seen from tokens well positioned to capitalize on a hot narrative. When speculators believe in this product or believe in this future, that product which Will describes, the open source thing, that's very real. There will be a product like this that revolutionizes everyday life because people who have the qualification and the desire and the curiosity and the tools will build these models and we will use them. So that's real. People want to invest in that. They don't have many places to do it. Cryptocurrency, ASI, it's what comes up in the search. Or if you do a little looking on the internet. But 6 billion, and now it's down to about 3 billion. I would be watching to see if it retained user activity, news attention, partnerships, updates, anything that could give them meaningful attention and use and activity. And I'd be looking at volume. If I believed in it enough to have conviction to look more or buy, I'd want to start accumulating at a price like this because, I don't know. I've seen tokens and I could see a world where I, like you, Will, I don't like it, but have I invested in things I didn't like in because I understood where the money was going and made money? Yep. Dad said, I'm just trying to get a Rolex. This would be a Rolex play, I would say, for someone like me who would pay attention to it, but I don't know if I'd pay attention to it. I feel good enough to honestly give it a grade unless people have specific back and forth questions. I think there are a lot of questions around the how to get involved because people are confused about the merger. And I would just say, in lieu of time, there's good information about that on their official website. We can share the link. We have shared the link. We have a great forum on the whole merger, the history of ASI, with all the good links in the Discord server. That's discord.gg/riseup. All that's missing is you. So yeah, give it a grade. Or I would give it, I don't know. I need to think about it and all that.
The other thing that I want to add on this too is one of the big things is on their website, they call them autonomously orchestrated AI agents. If you go through their videos and their marketing material too, you'll hear them talk about their AI agents. And basically, that's just kind of like a sophisticated chat bot, if you will. It's an AI app that's kind of rolled into a chat bot that you can talk to and ask it questions, and it will do some stuff, right? And that kind of sounds cool, and you're like, oh, there's a cryptocurrency that does that. But then you have to ask yourself the question is an AI agent going to get more adoption from people trying to ask it questions if it was on the blockchain and had a coin, or if it wasn't on the blockchain and didn't have a coin? You're going to have a much bigger pool of people who are going to know, oh, well, I just have to go to this website and I can ask this chatbot questions. Oh, instead, I have to have this coin and I have to get the wallet. And granted, there are a lot of people now who are investors in cryptocurrency, but most of them still aren't on chain. Most of them still aren't used to using wallets. They're used to going through Coinbase and just keeping their coins there. That's where most people still are. Yeah. So you got to ask yourself the question, like, okay, cool. Are they making these AI agents because they're actually trying to like get people to use their product, or are they trying to get something that creates easily marketable slogans and pitches and little clips, right, to then get money through investors, right? That's the question. And I would say that that's exactly the situation that Fetch is in. Mark, if you're asking me which AI coin I like, the only AI trend I've ever liked, and I have liked it less and less and less as each passing month has gone by. In 2022 and 2023, I really liked DPIN. I liked a render because in 2022, because of COVID, we did not have enough. We didn't have enough semiconductors. We didn't have enough chips, enough GPUs. There was not enough hardware to provide computational power for a lot of AI and machine learning. So in 2022 to 2023, there was a real need for a decentralized approach to GPUs. And then the supply chain issues from COVID got fixed. Semiconductors became more available, GPUs became more available, but they were still expensive. So today, there's less of a need, there's less of a pain point in the world for something like a render, particularly because render's main targeted audience would be a business, not a person, to use their computational power. And a business can just go to Amazon through their very familiar Amazon interface, go to AWS, Amazon Web Services, and just load up a couple servers, and bada boom, bada bing, you're good to go. And it's pretty cheap too. It's not overly expensive. Granted, render would be cheaper, but you don't have to learn about getting a wallet and a cryptocurrency and learn about blockchain stuff. You don't have to learn that. You can go do business as you have been for quite some time now through Amazon, because Amazon has plenty of GPUs, computational power, servers, and semiconductors to make those devices, or their manufacturers, their suppliers to make those devices. And that pain point doesn't exist anymore. So the only pain point in the world that a render solves is, hey, we make this thing that you can get easily, cheaper, but it's a little bit harder. I'm doing air quotes around that. Basically just harder. I mean, more unfamiliar. It's more unfamiliar of how to get to it, which can stop a lot of people. So DPIN is my favorite AI trend because it solved the real world pain point, but that pain point isn't as painful anymore. And so that's why now I just kind of look at DPIN and I'm like, we were so close to something so beautiful.
So close and yet so far.
That's so far.
Yeah. Users, attention. Solve a real problem. I would give Fetch a B-, which means if I was interested and wanted to play in this narrative and was doing it to make money, if I had the attention, I would consider looking further. I just don't have the time and attention right now, but I could make money on it.
Yeah, and remember, I said that I hate Fetch, but you can make money off of it. So because of that, I give it a B.
Let's give it a B then.
Let's just give it a B. Because I feel like a B is fair.
A B is fair.
A B is fair.
That sounds like if you didn't want to say a curse word and you wanted to title your album your edgy girl rap album. A B is fair. I don't know.
How fierce.
How fierce. I know, right? I know. If you've got thoughts on that, we need to hear your reaction. We need to know what you think. Are we crazy? Are we nuts? We see your suggestions for say, etc. If we have time, we'll get to it. Well, maybe we could take an audience suggestion every two. I'm kind of chomping at the bit to do pie, but
I want you to do pie because when I put it on here, because someone in our Discord was like, "Hey, can we take a look at pie?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then Evan DMs me and goes, "I will take pie." I'm like, "Okay, pie.
I'm gonna have my pie and eat it too."
I know nothing about it except that it's been around for a little while.
Good. You might still know too much. Forget it as fast as you can. Pie.
I'm feeling a high grade.
A high grade of frustration. Pi Network. I have these notes because I talk about it enough, but I'm going to be brief to tell you it is a cryptocurrency that lives in an app that you can mine from by pressing a button, by doing other kinds of things, no significant battery or data usage. And the project has gained a lot of traction, particularly because it's easy to access. You download the app. It's a referral-based growth model. Remember that. But there's really no assurance that it's decentralized in any way. We don't know if there's a real main net. It could be a database somewhere, very Web 2 style, assigning points. Pi tokens, they have a price on it, but your Pi tokens cannot be withdrawn or traded anywhere on any exchange. You could sell them to another user of Pi Network like you could with Bitcoin at the start, right? But you can't get money from this token. And their whole narrative has been, it's coming. We're working on that. And they have a lot of credibility because a lot of people use them, and because one of the founders was Dr. I can't say his name, Nicholas K. Cheng Yao Fan, and Vincent McPhillip, who are affiliated with Stanford. It's like the narrative. It's a Stanford project, and it's professors, PhDs, you know. But the biggest problem, bar none, is users cannot currently withdraw or convert their Pi tokens into fiat currency or other crypto. They're starting a gift card program, but it's locked. And I was a little bit shocked. I am shocked every time I see it, especially from people who, you know, I want to know better quicker. I don't want people I love and care about and think are really smart to get sucked in by something like that, because it's like the worst version of an MLM, because it's not an outright scam. People don't really, you know, recognize it for someone trying to take your money. But it sucks your attention, it's sucking your liquidity. And here's the thing. If someday there's liquidity for this and you can cash your tokens out, like 10 people are going to get rich from it because they accumulated a bajillion trillion points and gave their whole lives to this thing. You're not going to be sad about missing this. I'm just going to tell you, it's an F from me. It's a total F. Yeah, if Alex was here, I was Alex, I would give him a no. It's a no.
No, the Evan no, the very rare Evan no. It's funny, when you mentioned that, I looked up the price chart for Pi, and here's the price chart going all the way back to January 2023. And I was like, how the hell is it doing this? And then when you told me that it's not available for sale, you can't leave, I was like, oh, okay, that's the only explanation for this. Yeah, Alex, this is Pi. So I was so confused, but that makes sense. And guys, I went on their website, Evan, as you said that, right as you were like, oh yeah, it's mining on your phone. And I was like, oh dude, that was a narrative in 2017. Do you remember that?
Yes, and they really, these guys, this is where they came from. The official launch was 2019, but they played right into that narrative. They were the winners of that narrative, I would say, more than anybody that I know. They're here still.
Because there was... In 2017, there was a real big trend of like, oh, you can mine this crypto on your phone. And there was one coin that went from like, you know, the absolute pits to like a top 200 coin, right? It did great from a percentage standpoint.
That, but I believe it.
Yeah, and then you had like 5 copycat coins come out of the woodworks, and everyone was talking about mining on your phone. And this is amazing. You can just like, you know, and then they were like, oh, you can also mine this coin immediately on like your desktop browser too. And it was like all this like very easy approach to mining in 2017. And every single one of those coins just poof, zero, absolute zero, because they were centralized, like you said. And you didn't actually get the coins. It was just, there were some of them that where you didn't get coins, but like it just showed that you were getting something, but there was nothing there. You just gave them money and got this thing that just had this like number going.
Well, and like Devil King says, they also get your data. They get a lot of, you know, data from you, you know, when you're online, probably your email, probably your location, all kinds of times a day, all around the year. If you're using this thing and you're not using a VPN or whatever, it's no reward or low reward. If there are rewards, they aren't sustainable. It's not a scalable model. And it often preys on, you know, hey, we're going to bring banking to the global south because we've got a cryptocurrency they can mine with their, it's bad. It's a no from me, dog.
All right. Well, Pi's Pi's gonna get a hell
no. Yeah. I don't know if I have a sound effect strong enough for that. Maybe I don't know.
Oh God.
Something like that. I don't know how loud these are. Don't let me kill you.
I don't know. I think I liked the gunshot.
Yeah, and also, definitely, my lord, definitely.
User, this is not financial advice.
No, but this is like, you know, your big brother telling you, I see you with your cell phone and you're mining Pi again. I'm going to call your girlfriend and tell her you're cheating. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to spend your time on that. That is not a good use of your time.
Grabbing your phone, throwing it in the pool, and then somehow blaming it on, I don't know, something on you.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I'm peeing on the rug and blaming it on you.
Yeah. Well, hey, guys, Alex is about to join us in a minute or so I think now's a good time to do a quick commercial. So, guys, myself, Evan, and Alex will be joining us. If you're unfamiliar, we are part of the Rise Up morning show, but it is not the morning right now. It is the evening. This is the Rise Up After Dark show, where we do altcoin analysis and review every single Wednesday. Now, it used to be Thursdays, but Thursday night football. Gotta go throw the pigskin with the boys. And so if you guys want to make sure that altcoins get on our review sheet, we do take some from the live chat, but also you can give us recommendations in the Discord, which you can find at riseupmorningshow.com or in the links in either of our bios. If the links do not work, send us a DM. We will send them out to you, get you involved in our community full of a bunch of people who work at Coinbase, who are lawyers, who are builders in the space, professional traders and investors, and then just like regular people, trying to make some friends and make sure they have some people to help. So join us in the Discord, guys. I think now's a good time to take an altcoin from the crowd.
I agree.
So guys, let us know what coins you want us to review. I do have a few written down from earlier in the live. There was Beam, there was Phantom, there was Ponky, there was Origin Trail, mentioned quite a few. Carter, yep, or you've been on it about Origin Trail. And Say were mentioned quite a few times.
Now, we've done Say before, haven't we? Or am I confusing Say with something else? They come and go so quickly here.
I know, let's see. We did Sui. I'm gonna go.
Sui. I'm confusing Sui and Say. Yeah, we haven't done Say yet. And Say's been requested a lot. We could do any of those, honestly, sound good to me.
Just because Carter has been so adamant about Origin Trail, I kind of wanna reward it,
You want to reward that? Now everybody is going to come into our chat and they're just going to spam their token. I do not want people spamming their token in here. No shame, Carter. I appreciate the tenacity. But we got to give a more substantive conversation in the chat.
You know what? We're going to do Origin Trail, though, because if people start spamming, that's more comments and engagement for the live, baby.
Oh, my God. Sorry, everybody, but it's about to become spammy. Okay, let's do it.
It's about to become spammy.
Origin Trail Crypto. If you want to play along at home, send us what you think. If you know about the project, if you got a link, something like that, we'll pull it up and let's see.
The ticker is TRAC. Let me pull up the price chart.
You do that. I'm looking at the website. It claims to be a decentralized knowledge graph. That's the headline. Verifiable intelligence. Oh, excuse me. Verifiable internet for artificial intelligence. The convergence of crypto, internet, and AI.
Let me see if I can just go to TradingView, make this a better chart. Can I get off the 1 minute, daily? Let's look at the weekly chart. Okay, here we go. This is, and can we get rid of the volume? Yes, we can. Okay, perfect. This is Origin Trail on the weekly time frame. This goes all the way back. Wait a second. This goes back to May. Sorry, this goes back to 2023. However, if I go backwards, oh no, I lost it. I'm pretty sure this coin came out in 2018. Apologies for the poor viewing experience here, everybody. Loading up. Cool. Okay, yeah, this coin's history goes all the way back to 2018, and even does it touch 2017? No. So this is an old coin. It had a decent run up in 2021. It had a very big pop. This is a big pop here in the 2021 bull run. And then it seemed to die off, and it's come back. I'm not surprised to see it come back, Evan, based on what you said on the website. You said it was an AI-related coin.
AI, internet, crypto is the branding now, but their history is rich and interesting, honestly. So keep going, and I'll give you some more detail.
Because already I see this as an air quote old coin, which already makes me worried, right? And the reason why it makes me worried is that you're going to have a lot of people who bought Origin Trail at these levels who are going to be salty bag holders who will want to dump on you as the price comes up. However, that still didn't stop the price from recovering about a third, maybe a half of its previous height before. And if it's an AI coin that's proven to be able to go up, if the markets turn around, this could possibly turn around, right? So, but it does make me worried that there's an older coin. There's going to be previous investors who would love to sell on you if the price comes back up to, these price points here. So that's just my first initial take off of it. So one thing to be worried about, however, it did show us that it can run along with the AI trend. So I'm going to do a little bit more research on this myself. Evan, let me know what you're pulling up.
Yes, absolutely. I want to show everybody just what we're looking at so they can see kind of. Sorry, you get my bright face. It's just so you can see the website for yourself in case you can't search it right now and get a sense of the kind of company. This company strikes me kind of like a Polkadot, where they've been around a long time and they kind of lead with these a mix now. I suspect a lot of this is an update from their marketing person. But in the old days, before they went to just buzzwords, it seems like they were really interested in research publication. They love flexing this. I can see Dr. Bob Metcalf at the top of their paper, Ethernet inventor and internet pioneer. And I don't know that he's the author. I think they're just trying to build credibility and affiliation with him. But it strikes me as something that a lot of those early internet people would get into. And there is a lot of stuff that they have done. I did a little GPT research thread just to see some of the highlights from their story. And it looks like they started out as a solution for supply chain management. Their core technology is DKG, which is Decentralized Knowledge Graph. This is like a DAG or a even distributed ledger. It is a type of information architecture, like a blockchain. Has similar features, different features, but it structures and links data in a decentralized way, makes it more accessible, more trustworthy, and it kind of functions like Link, connecting data from different sources like IoT devices or an enterprise database to the blockchain. Ensures integrity, security, that kind of thing. And it has been used in a lot of different places, and they've really focused on interoperability. Started on Ethereum, but have gone to Polygon, Polkadot. The token is a utility token. People, unlike some of these AI tokens or like a decentralized science coin, it looks like people are using it to pay for data processing and storage on the network, and also for staking and governance to influence decisions about development. It sounds like it has kind of a robust niche community. They're using it in supply chain for traceability. It's been used in the pharmaceutical industry, and it's been used by some names in enterprise. You know, they're not at scale yet. They're not ubiquitous. Good partnerships, Walmart, Swiss Fed Railways, Home Depot. I don't know what the partnership is like. Companies in the EU, they have backing from the EU to work on solutions for people in their countries. So it still doesn't have a lot of adoption, though. That's the big challenge, number one. Big strides in a very niche industry, but it's kind of like like VeChain. It's doing what it's supposed to do, and its audience has found it, and there's not a lot of reason maybe to speculate on it. And therefore, it may not be very scalable, especially because this is like a large-scale global supply chain, massive amounts of data. Like you said, a lot of people who are investing in crypto or building in this space, they aren't necessarily on-chain, and that's kind of a barrier for them. So I don't know. It seems like a Polkadot in that sense, where it's, kind of nerdy, getting a rebrand. I'm concerned about it for all the same reasons, but if I was into this niche community and wanted to use this, then maybe I would pay more attention to it. It doesn't interest me as a speculator. Welcome, Alex.
Hello.
Oh, hey.
How was your flight?
All three of them were just great.
Love, three, little.
Yeah,
Ugh.
3 legs, because Jesus hates me.
Nice. Lovely.
Evan's got the board back. I don't know if I'm going to stick around.
You got the board back. So guys,
There you go.
a couple other things I want to mention about Origin Trails too is, as Evan pointed out, it has a lot of holders. 21,724 is quite a bit.
Wow. Okay.
And it has been growing throughout the end of August into September. And when we look at how decentralized this is, we can see that there are some pretty big wallets, but we can already see that this is associated with a bridging contract. This is KuCoin. So I would imagine that these other two that hold 10% and 17% have something to do with the supply that gets issued out, or maybe a team wallet or something. Once you get past that, though, it does get fairly decentralized once you get past those first big old wallets there. But this is a potential concern in case something gets hacked. However, not uncommon.
Wallet's under contract, isn't it, Will?
What was that?
That first wallet's under contract, though, isn't it?
Coming in hot, Alex.
Under contract? I don't know what you mean.
It's under contract. See that little
I can't even see it from this far away.
that little document in front of the address?
Oh, yes.
Indicates it's under.
You know what? I've never even noticed that before.
Alex, for people who are unsure of what you mean by that, can you help us understand so that when we see this on a blockchain explorer, we know what it is and why it's important?
Yeah, it's not really a green flag or a red flag. It's just something that's worth looking at and being aware of. But if that is there, it means that that wallet address is part of an agreement laid out in a smart contract. So interactions with or out of that wallet are contracted. And you can read the contract code. Actually, if you follow the link to the wallet, it'll pull up and you can read the whole smart contract code, assuming you can read it.
Alex, does that mean a
beautiful.
person can access the stuff in the wallet, or it's totally controlled by like autonomously? What does that really mean?
No, that's why I said it's not green or red. It's just something to be aware of. Typically, there's not a lot of random human interaction with smart contract wallets or contracted wallets. Because, Evan, for example, if your wallet from an NFT mint that you ran was designated to get payments every so often, or when some criteria is met, your wallet could be, conscripted via smart contract for some sort of agreement. So it's just something to be aware of. And typically you see that with like holders like this because it's an exchange wallet, it's a bridge contract, or it's something else. It's a staking payment provider. Who knows? Could be anything. But you can read the code if you want.
Something supporting
you
the
get
infrastructure. Got it.
Yeah. So when you get past the contract wallets and then the exchange wallet, this does start to get pretty decentralized. So 2.3%, let's go 4.3, 4.5, 5.5, 6.7, basically 7.7. So basically the top 10 holders have 10% of the supply, which is actually pretty damn good. And then the initial distribution of the token too, I like to see that 50% of the total supply was given out as a public token sale. So they just gave that out. So there isn't like too much more supply to be released across the founders, the team. Liquidity won't be available, and bounty programs would be available to people who try to find, things that are that are wrong in the contract. So there shouldn't be much inflation of the token. The token's pretty decentralized. And also another thing too is they do have a public audit for their security system. There were some high risks that were found. However, 12 of the 16 issues have been resolved. There was only one high risk that was resolved as well. I did dive through the audit report a little bit more. It wasn't fully resolved, but it was mitigated and everything else was fully resolved. This audit came out a while ago, so things could be better. But what I would say, and if you want to find an audit, you can come over to CoinMarketCap and it'll have audits mentioned right here underneath this audit section, right? And not all projects have that, right? I would say it is a good sign that a project has an audit because it means that they're kind of taking themselves somewhat seriously and open to criticism in order to put a project out. But you can find some audits and they put it out there and it's like crap, right? So, just because it's there doesn't mean that it's like immediately a thumbs up. Open it up and make sure that things were found that were wrong and then were fixed, because it means the team's trying to actually work and put out a good product. So, my thoughts on Origin Trail so far is it's in the AI space. It's shown that it can go up in value. It's not something I'm too excited about personally. I don't really care for this. But if people were told me that, they were buying Origin Trail at these levels and let's just assume Bitcoin goes up, I would expect this to go up in value too.
Yeah. Are you ready to give it a grade? I got a grade.
I got a grade.
Give it a grade.
B.
B. I think I'm going to give it a B too.
Yeah. In fact, I'm just going to give it a B. I'm going to give it a B. That's the first one that I went with. And oh wait, I just realized it's not on the board because this was. Haha.
Yeah, my only contribution there is I'll just jump into the next one here instead of backtracking us, but just be careful with audits always. I remember the last time I did that meme review of, I don't even remember what it was called, some shitty base meme that was a scam. They had an audit and their audit was guys, this project is legit. It says so on the homepage. And that was the audit. The audit was screenshotting their homepage and using that as evidence that they were passing an audit. It was incredible.
Nice. That's
It's
fantastic.
like being audited by your mom.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Alex, you get to do Doge because you're our meme coin professional. No, if you can do another one other than Doge, you can do whatever you want.
Oh, I don't
Did you
care.
see I gave Pi a hell no?
Hell nah.
I
Hell
appreciate that.
no.
Yeah, well, hey, let's switch to Doge. Why not? You're the SHIB guy, you're the Doge guy, the dog meme coin OG bro.
Hell yeah. I actually don't mind talking about Doge.
It's part of the culture. It's part of the people at this point.
Hey, and thanks to Carter for being tenacious about that token. I'm glad you insisted, Will, because I would be interested. It's the kind of solution I'd be interested to learn more about. It's sexy to me. It sounds nerdy as hell, and it sounds like it could work. I don't think I would buy it unless I wanted to use it, but I think it might be something I would use.
Yeah, and you know what? Carter, look at you. Look at you go, you king of kings. We will now be supporting spam in the chat from this day forward, everybody.
Oh, no. Oh, man. Devil King gave it a C minus. I don't know. So I'm always interested to hear people's different opinions. Different strokes for different folks. Do you have a report for us, Alex, on Doge?
Sure. Yeah, I can talk. I mean, this is kind of off the top here, but
Go for it.
Throw it, dude.
I was just watching a Machinery's comment. Shib got a B last time, right? Watch Doge get an A, and spoiler alert, gentlemen. I don't want to give it away before we get to the goods, but I don't have a lot of problems with Doge.
It's hard to have problems with Doge, other than it being a meme. But yeah.
Yeah,
But Alex, wasn't that kind of a change of mind for you? I've known you long enough to feel like I remember you had a problem with Doge, and then you learned more about it and you didn't.
Yeah, so
I also did. The same exact journey.
Yeah,
I think so.
So fun fact, Doge is actually the third crypto that I ever owned. Right after ETH and ETH Classic was Doge in that order. Yep.
Picking winners.
Yep. That's
no,
that's
really,
a story.
truly, though.
You picked two good winners, actually.
Well, yeah, that's a story for another time. So yeah, no, I definitely used to, I think, when I was like newer and fresher, I had problems with it because I just thought it was telling the wrong story and it was bad. And it was, it was not appropriately representing the tech. And I'll admit that one, I didn't really know that much about like how it was created. And also I had not yet been poisoned by the current meme offerings to then go back and wish for simpler times when it was just Doge. But Doge was made, I don't know what year was it made, 2013. It's old.
Yeah, just at the end.
It was just a parody of Bitcoin, and unlike a lot of memes now, there was no, someone didn't post the contract address on Twitter and get a bunch of random people to send SOL to a unknown address and collect a bunch and then do some weird airdrop. It was just like, hey, here's this thing, I made it as a joke, you guys can mine it, go forth and conquer. So honestly, like in that respect, it is already better than 80% of the other cryptos that exist. It is exactly what it is. That what Evan is alluding to is my evolution on memes, is that as long as they're represented honestly, I truly don't have an issue with them. So like, pick anything. If something is like, hey, Miggles, here's a cat. Its name is Miggles. It's funny. To the moon. You know what? Good for you guys. Okay? Go forth and have a great time. But if you try to tell me that Miggles is going to be, the next best thing in smart contract technology, and it's going to be the place where we store our medical records and whatever, I'm going to tell you to go pound sand. And Doge doesn't pretend to be anything other than, hey, this is funny. Mine it if you want. We don't care. So that's it. I mean, it's one of those things. No data, just vibes. It's so old now. It's a titan. It's a titan of industry. At this point, it gave birth to. I mean, how many? Could we even deign to put a number on how many things?
Could you even count the memes? No.
So it's what it is. I don't know. I don't really know how to review it because that's what it is. It's more than 10 years old. It started as a joke. It's been honestly represented. Elon adopted it as his own pet project or whatever. It's basically just cheaper, faster, and less secure than Bitcoin, but essentially it's the same thing.
But Alex,
Yeah.
it also innovated in a couple of places where a lot of other memes have tried to follow. It was the original degen token in the sense that people could use it to tip in microtransactions on Reddit, on Twitter, and over time, low transaction fees, fast confirmation made other people want to use it. They did charity stuff. They did. I think there was some crowdfunding, and merchants, businesses started to accept it. So I think that
Yeah.
it has
Well,
earned
don't
its
forget.
place of attention and will continue to generate it that way.
I don't remember what year it is. I'll have to look this up. Somebody can help me out. But there was a famous moment in Dogecoin's history where it was used to fundraise to send the Jamaican bobsled team to the Winter Olympics.
Yes, it was, and it's
And-
perfect.
And that's incredible.
Yeah, and you know what? When Dogecoin first came out, I hated it too. And now that we've had just this total avalanche of just horrific meme coins,
Yeah.
it's made me look at Doge as the true king of kings that it is.
Didn't know how good you had it.
And one of the beautiful things about Doge's proof point to me was that Doge is proof that culture has monetary value. And that was it. Doge was the first proof point that pop culture, has monetary value on the blockchain. And like the thing is it's even more beautiful than that. It's like culture on the internet has monetary value, because like, yes, we all know that like you can take bits and pieces of culture and you have like an IP or something and people will attach like a value to that IP, but nobody took a meme before. You couldn't place a value on memes because memes are just, you go on Google Images or whatever, you go on your text GIF board chat or whatever, and your memes are there, right? There was never like a market cap attached to any of those pictures. Dogecoin was the first time we took a meme and gave it a market cap and allowed people to decide how valuable we thought a meme was. And it was the first time we did that. It's the first time we took a bit of culture and put it on the blockchain and said, how much is this worth, people? And people said, a fuck ton. Send it to the moon. Oh, wow.
Higher.
Yeah, higher. Why? Because we're silly monkeys. Higher.
I think that just kind of then, got fleshed out more with whenever a new utility would like be proposed, there was always someone who would just be like, wouldn't it be funnier if we did this with Doge? And it really just sort of exactly what Will's talking about. It monetized the memeability of culture. And now we're at a point where, I mean, what's the thing? We've all seen it countless times, right? Anything happens, someone makes a meme coin about it, right? Like I don't know, anything.
Oh, you name it. The guy who hit the goalpost on that, what was it, a Super Bowl game forever ago? He kicked the ball. That was on T-shirts. It was meme coins. It was the mother token thing was huge. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
Trump,
you were talking
Kamala.
about the French pole vaulter with his huge dong. That's what I
Oh,
thought you
I'm
were
sure that was a token for a minute. Dong token. That's probably been a token many times. Let's be honest.
I'm sure
French
there's a lot
dong
of
token.
Well, and whether it's tokens or NFTs, tokens of all kinds, they extend the value of culture on the internet. And we have yet to see where it will go, but we will always have a place for Doge in like the halls of our hearts. I don't know, Will, if you have pricing information or like, want to talk about it speculatively. I don't know that I would invest it. My girlfriend buys it. It might go up. I've made my money on it. I'm mostly, watching it for fun. But
Yeah, so
would you buy
this is the Dogecoin chart, right? Even though this is super flat, if you zoom in, it becomes like gigantic, right? Because Dogecoin's just became a monster. It's a $14 billion market cap. Right? It's shown that it can go up in value like it did in early 2024, right? But the thing is you do have a lot of salty bag holders who might dump on you and suppress the price. Is Dogecoin something that I would buy? Probably not. Is it something that I absolutely love and adore and looked at with a positive light and positivity in my heart? Absolutely. A+++ for Dogecoin, but I would never buy it.
yeah, I don't think I want to buy it.
Yeah,
I might buy it for the
would-
culture. I'd like to have some, but that's it.
I would literally grab one and put it in like my scrapbook wallet as just like, hey, here's a wallet that has like tokens that I care about for sentimental value. But that's it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
It's an icon. Bestest.
Bestest boy. Yeah,
Bestest
that's a good
boy.
grade. That's a great grade. I stand by it.
Yeah. And one thing I would feel remiss to not mention is in May, we did sadly lose Kobasu, which is the name of the dog, the Shiba Inu, in real life, who that is the picture of. She actually passed away in May. So rest in peace, Kobasu. And thank you for the memes. Thank you for the good times. And thank you for Dogecoin. You queen of queens. And also you gender fluid bestest of boys.
Very well said. Very well said. Rip
All right.
Kobasu.
Arbitrum, Thorchain, or Quant.
Did you say Thorchain? Is that what that rune is? Oh,
That is what rune is.
I had something else in my head. Ugh. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's Thorchain.
Man, I'm most excited about Arbitrum personally. I think that
Okay.
one's the coolest.
All right.
Devil
well, hey,
King
guys,
says rune Thor. I don't know. You
Hey,
pick.
let's
I'll give
just-
you a drum roll. You tell me what you like.
Let's go to Arbitrum because for me, it's the most boring.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just because, I mean, it's great at what it does. If you guys don't know, it's a layer 2 for Ethereum. Very, very popular. Has a ton of adoption. Very, very sticky. A lot of people building on it. Like, it has
That cowboy hat hit different tonight, Will, when you got the tank top on.
It does. It really does. It looks good.
You look like a cowboy.
I do. I got to put on a cowboy hat, one of my cowboy hats, and then grow my mustache, and I'll be like the new old Wild West Freddie Mercury gay icon. You know,
Willie the
of
Kid.
today.
Exactly.
Yeah, but Arbitrum's like a great project. It just doesn't really excite me because, and that's weird because it has a lot of adoption. It just doesn't excite me because like there are a lot of layer 2s, and there are a lot of them that do great, and
Yeah.
Will
doesn't
is
really
bored by a
excite me.
utility token doing what it's supposed to do and nothing else.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
You know.
Where is the speculation? Where is the Ponzi? Where's the drama? Where is the CEO of the company
Wait a second,
sleeping
Will.
with the COO?
Let me introduce you to Arb AI.
Oh, no.
The deep in gaming narrative that's sweeping the nation.
Is that pronounced Arbe?
It's gaming?
Don't ask questions, Will. That's all you need to know, okay? It's a DeFi pin game with AI.
But in order to get it, I have to give you my seed phrase first,
Just
right?
shut up.
Yes.
Tell me, please.
I'm gonna
Oh,
yak.
yes, baby. Say it slower.
Oh, no.
It's proof of stake
Oh,
mining.
no. Guys, we're losing the stream. We're losing it.
Yeah. Listen, here's the thing about Arbitrum, though. Arbitrum is a leader among the protocols attracting users, developers, and scaling Ethereum. And in terms of the global network that will be ubiquitous one day and serve people to do all kinds of things, ETH is probably it. Oh my God. If you wanted to lure me to my death, all you'd have to do is put up string lights. Side note. Arbitrum is active. It's bumping. What was the stat you shared about stickiness, Will? Were they number 2 behind base?
They were number 2 behind base.
And it was a
like-
big leap behind them, but they're sticky. People use them. There's not a ton of value locked, a few $1 billion, but people are increasingly active there, building stuff there to scale ETH. And here's a stat I learned today that right now, for every dollar in fees that settles to Ethereum, a lot of layer 2s are making not tens more, hundreds more dollars. OP was at $300 and some for every dollar of fees to Ethereum. And as you know, L2s scale Ethereum. They're faster, they're cheaper, but people use them more. And they have captured a mechanism that some people have called parasitic, because before you had to use ETH, but now you can use these cheaper, faster L2s. And I think there will be many more competitors because they're easy to spring up. But as long as Arbitrum has attention in this space, and for context, when I go to DeFi Llama, it's like number 5 right there on the top. So people can find it. I'm not as excited about it as a speculator, but I do think it's going to scale in terms of price and activity and attention. So if I was betting on L2s, it would be on the top of my list.
Here's the interesting thing with Arbitrum's token is that in 2023 it did absolutely nothing. And let me turn this around. So in 2023, so as you can see the dates here, so 2023, it did absolutely nothing except go down while other altcoins did well. Then finally, in the beginning of 2024, we had some positive price action, and then it's gone to new all-time lows as of right now. So the token has been abysmal. And the adoption was fantastic at these levels too, but the price just did not get reflected at all. It throughout all of 2023 into, actually no, in the very beginning of 2024, this is January, it started doing well. But then quickly fell off again, as Bitcoin fell off. So finally got some momentum. Looking at this as an investor, despite seeing all the adoption, I see a coin that just hasn't been able to prove to me yet that its price can go up in a sustainable way. Now, granted, this is just bad, unfortunate timing, right? This is an Arbitrum being bad. This is just unfortunate timing given the market. But, I can't look at this and as an investor say there's any sign of strength yet on the chart. I think it'll show up eventually because Arbitrum has the adoption to be able to show strength on its chart, but it just hasn't shown that to me.
Yeah, and Will, just to give you and our listeners some context around that, Arbitrum was one of the bigger airdrop tokens in March last year. They had a big airdrop, lots of buzz, lots of immediate sell-offs, and then there's all this supply pressure. And they have a high circulating supply that is increasing over time. So couple that with now we're in this kind of, dull spot in the market. I don't know. I think there's a lot of mix-up about what the token does, the people who want to use it, and the people who want to speculate on it. There's no burning or staking mechanism to make it sexy for speculators. And there's just a lot of layer twos. It's a governance token. A lot of layer twos. The nerds use it. I don't think a lot of the moon boys want to play with it. I don't know that it's going to pump.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just not one of those.
I don't have conviction.
It's not sexy enough to bring the moon boys in.
The moon boys. They have
ladies,
an important role.
It makes me sad because it's genuinely better than about 85% of the things that exist.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
In this industry, far and away, not even close. It works really well. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. There's a bunch of people that use it. The people that use it really like it. They just dropped an $85 million grant fund that they have started taking applications for in the past couple months. They had a massive presence at Consensus. They were there backing up all kinds of cool builder initiatives, and the token probably, who knows? It genuinely makes me sad because it's one of the cooler things in the industry and nobody gives a shit.
Well, and can we really quick say something to Aaliyah, who has said, "Damn, I'm batting 1,000 over here." She's maybe picked some tokens that we don't like, and I want to be clear: we're not saying this is not a good token for you or a good token to use, or even that it won't go up. Nobody knows what's going to happen, but it is really helpful to hear people talk about. You see a token that, according to Alex, hits all your boxes. It looks really cool. It does a neat thing. So why wouldn't it be a good investment? But it's monkey brain, people.
That's crypto.
You're always trying to teach us about that, Will.
Yep. Silly monkey brains, guys.
Silly monkeys.
Just because something doesn't get adoption or isn't is trying to help an actual pain point in the world doesn't mean it can't go up a ridiculous amount of money in a bull market in crypto, so long as you have a couple things. People talking about you. You're in a hot ecosystem like Base or Solana or maybe even Toncoin, right? Something that has a lot of money in it, and you're in a hot narrative. If you have those three things and good marketing, woo-wee, you can take a pile of turd and launch that baby to Mars, sweetheart.
We leave tomorrow. Yeah, absolutely. So grades. I would give it. I just don't want to be giving B's all night because I like it so much. I'm going to give it a C. I'm going to give it a C. And that's terrible because it's better than most tokens in the space. I'm giving it a C because for all the different factors we've discussed. I wouldn't pay more attention to it. I already know enough about it. I don't use it. I don't know. That's just me personally. My grades reflect how interested I am to spend more time with this token. And it's a C for me. It'd have to buy me a nice dinner first, and then I'd think about it.
Yes,
I like that.
I'm probably not going to invest in it because I don't need to. It's absolutely on my short list of ecosystems to investigate further to create something in because of the new grant program and the fact that they're actively looking for new stuff. And I know from multiple different instances of personal experience that people who run projects there enjoy it and it works well. So I would probably split the difference and say B, just because I truly can't give a genuinely good project a low grade just because the token is not like hyper investable, because that's the least interesting piece of Web3 to me. So I would give it a B just because it is undeniably solid. It does work, and they are doing exactly what they should be doing to like further the adoption of the ecosystem, in my humble opinion.
Yes, so we have a C
It's
by
a protest
Evan,
vote.
a
It's a
B.
protest vote, despite the fact that it's probably not a great
Protest vote.
Well, the thing is I was leaning towards a B minus, which is perfect because I'm the deciding vote now, because a C and a B is a C plus B minus. I'm going to give it a B minus because Arbitrum does such a good job at what it's supposed to do. And as an investor, its bad price performance is more so a reflection of it just being bad timing in the market for the token to have come out. And I think Arbitrum has a good chance of proving to us that it can show strength on this charts in times yet to come. So I'm going to give it a B minus just for that. It definitely deserves to be in the B range because of all the things you said, Alex, in my opinion. But it deserves the minus because the price just hasn't been the greatest. Also,
That's fair. Really quick before we move on, Aztec had a really good question that I think bears some relevance in the rest of all this. It was just like, I think, and Aztec, correct me if I'm oversimplifying your question, but like basically what's the difference between L1, L2, and L3, and why does that matter? Really simply and very briefly put, layer ones are the blockchain layer. That's the easiest way to think about it. Don't get too tripped up with layer zero. Layer zero is a marketing term. It doesn't mean anything.
correct.
Layer one is the blockchain layer. That is the core. That's the foundation. Layer two is anything that you put on top of it that is not itself an application. This is the scalability layer. Layer two makes layer one harder, better, faster, stronger. That's its purpose. Arbitrum, optimism, base, Polygon, whatever. Layer three is apparently what we're calling the application layer. That's like dApps and decentralized exchanges and games and other things that run either on top of the base foundation or the layer two scaling solution. Could be either, but layer three is the application layer. That's like all the stuff people build.
Yeah, another way to do it too,
said.
even if you don't want to use the term blockchain at all, is layer one is security. Layer two is what makes the app go. Layer three is the interface that you interact with. Interface, what makes the app work? The security. And there you go.
And I want to say real quick, do you want to pick an audience token next, Will? Are we on an audience token?
I think it is time.
Then as you invite the feedback, but I have a quick tip I want to give for the folks in the audience.
Sure, guys. Yeah. So,
short
guys,
commercial.
let us know what coins you want us to take a look at. I see Say coming through. I see Velo coming through. I have some coins we wrote down here too, like Phantom, Ponky, Say as well, Beam as well were mentioned. So let us know what coins you guys want. The one that gets mentioned, the most, we'll do it. Also, guys, if you want to make sure that your coin gets on the board for sure, join our Discord. We will take all coin suggestions as well. You can get to the Discord through any of the links in any of our bios, and also at theriseupmorningshow.com. Even though it's not the morning right now, depending on where you are in the world, on the East Coast of the United States, it's not the morning, it's nighttime. This is the Rise Up After Dark show where we review altcoins once a week, every Wednesday now. So, Evan, what did you want to chat?
I just wanted to add that if you're asking about a token that we've covered already, the place you would find it, Discord's a good place to start, is the YouTube channel. We post these episodes and the episodes of the morning show and other content there so that you can see when we talked about Aave 2 weeks ago, didn't we? Am I nuts?
We never had
Yeah, we talked about Avalanche.
I was deceived. I deceived myself. So if there is a coin, a token, a project, a company that we've talked about, that's where it is. I guess Aave needs to go on the list for next time. And
Yeah, 'cause
you
they
can
do a
find
bunch
that
of-
in our Discord too.
Yeah, because they kind of brought themselves back to life again. We can talk about them later. And also for Avalanche, guys, shocker, we really like Avalanche. We gave it a very good
liked it.
Avalanche.
now, let me go up. I saw Avalanche there. Injective, we actually looked at last week. I see Say, Tron. I think we looked at Tron too. Yeah, we looked at Tron also. We also already looked at Aerodrome. I see another mention for Say and Beam. So Say and Beam are the most mentioned. Manny, we did Sui 2 weeks ago as well. We gave Sui a very good grade also, just FYI. So guys, I think we should take a look at, I'm deciding between Beam or Say. Let's do Say, because I would like to have Beam potentially be next week's episode. If we can get Michael to join also, given his Web3 experience, I think it'd be great if we could talk about a bunch of Web3 gaming coins all together with some people who are working in the Web3 gaming.
That would be cool. Do a gaming focus special.
Yeah. So apologies to who put in Beam. You're going to have to wait one more week. But we're going to try to make it an extra special episode for you and bring in some people who are building in the Web3 gaming space. And try to do some, like maybe like half of them are like Web3 gaming coins, right? And just get all their input and stuff, because that'd be fascinating, I think. We'll try to organize that, guys. So let's take a look at Say. I haven't dived into Say in 5 months or so. So the only overview I can really give for it, guys, is that it is another platform cryptocurrency, right? Like your Ethereum, like your Sui, like your Solana, right? And I'm pretty sure it's under the same marketing as trying to be a Solana killer. They had a bunch of technological upgrades slated for this year. Outside of that, that's about everything I know, but that's at least a good place to start with every coin, is to know what kind of general coin it is. Okay, a platform cryptocurrency, and does it have a lot of competitors? Say has a shit ton of competitors. So anything that's a platform crypto, you have to start asking yourself, okay, there are a ton of competitors out there. Is it doing enough to make itself different? Does it have a competitive edge? And is it doing enough to start to win market share from its competitors? And its market share are Web3 developers to build on the project, right? So is it getting adoption amongst its targeted audience? The targeted audience are blockchain developers. Are people building on it? And a good way to measure that is, are decentralized applications being built on it? And are people using that? So immediately I'm thinking about going to sites like DApp Radar for Say, to go to DeFi Llama for Say, and then also go to their Twitter, their white paper, figure out their roadmap, because those numbers might be really low if they haven't had a chance to really build those out and release them yet. So those are the first questions that immediately come to my head when I'm thinking about researching a coin like this, okay? So now with that little overview and preamble about how I'd start looking into this, Evan, Alex, do you guys have anything to add out the gate?
Alex, I'm glad to give some context for people to see where it's been, where it might be going.
Yeah, go for it.
In 2023 is when this thing launched. And like a lot of new layer ones that have decent marketing, it got a lot of attention. They marketed really well that their niche focus is trading infrastructure, and sold this idea because DeFi products are honestly one of the biggest revenue producers in our space. You might even say they're the only revenue producers in our space. So building the infrastructure for people to do stuff like that on naturally will attract attention, and as we've seen, funding. But it's been really slow. Less dApps, less liquidity, less user adoption than a lot of their competitors. And though TVL is growing, it's growing at a pretty measured pace, and it's been alive long enough to have more. I feel like it's only about 135 million. And in terms of developer activity, commits are, okay. Their peak was almost 1,500 in October of last year. And since then, they've kind of, and now they're real down. They're down bad. There are like 150 commits a month.
I will defend Say's TVL for one moment here.
Go for it.
Their TVL is $135.39 million. That's very small. My general rule of thumb, as I've said before, is if the TVL is below $300 million,
it's not worth paying attention to.
Not worth paying attention to. However, one thing here with Say is it's you want to look at the total amount of money in the DeFi ecosystem, but you also want to look at the rate of growth, because you might be early, right? So here, I did not flip my screen. Un moment, s'il vous plaît. There we go. So here's the TVL. So this is going back to what are we at? August 2023. Now you can see here, March is a very important date. Let me zoom in a little bit. March this year is a very important date because March is when Bitcoin kind of topped out and started falling. This is March to April to where we are today, right? And we know what altcoins have done since then. So at the time where Bitcoin topped out and started going down and altcoins started falling, the TVL has been growing, which is pretty damn impressive in my personal opinion. And when we look at the top DeFi apps, we see that there's Yay Finance. This is a lending protocol. And over the past month, it has grown by 60.88%. That's pretty damn good growth, particularly in a very corrective bear market for altcoins. TVL on most charts is going down. Now, it is easy, I will say, to make this chart look good because it's only $135 million, right? So keep that in mind. But the growth rate in a corrective period is showing some pretty good signs for Say, despite the total amount being small. So I just wanted to defend Say a tiny bit there.
And they've got a real strong indicator in social sentiment on CoinGecko. I was looking, where did I close it to? Was I on Deck Screener? I saw it. They've got like an 89% positive sentiment on the day. A lot of good sentiment recently. They're just up 15.6% after an announcement that they made about their V2 mainnet beta. So they're doing stuff. People are paying attention, and I like investing in layer ones. You, I think, are astute to say we could just be early. My bags are pretty much packed, but if I came into some money, I'd spend more time with it. I like layer ones, man. It's a parallelized EVM. That's an interesting narrative among niche communities. Alex, are you seeing anything that tingles your beard over there?
I've looked at Say before.
Tickles your fancy.
It doesn't do nothing for me. I don't have any issues with it, but I have no need for it, which is really just not an indictment of like Say's quality. It's just, I guess, more of a testament to the conservative nature of my portfolio and investing style that I haven't gone any further. But probably worth noting that, like, red flag wise, I don't really see anything. It's just like it is a smaller competitor, and it's going to struggle forever until
forever.
If you ask yourself, okay, what would it take? What would it take for it to get any like real momentous adoption? It would basically take someone massive to drastically change course.
Yes.
And why would they do that? To Say, there's no specific reason. So seems unlikely.
Yeah, I could see Say getting some excitement. I tried to find the roadmap for their technological upgrades that they have, because they do have one. And I remember a lot of people, including Mac Lorden, talking about the roadmap for Say and how he was excited to see how the technological upgrades kind of came through. So I always give some credence to his opinion on stuff, but I wasn't able to find it quickly to share it with you guys. So like Say could very easily, get some airtime in crypto social media with these upgrades. If the TVL really starts to grow, it could start to get put on a bunch of people's radar screens, and then you get influencers talking about it. The price can do well. But ultimately, from a competitive standpoint, you just have to ask yourself the question, like, do I want to take on the risk of maybe none of those things happening and throwing money into Say, and like, maybe it does well, but not nearly as well as like even Solana does, even though Solana could be at a much higher market cap. Or, do I want to take this money and look into coins in the Base ecosystem, right? Because Base is doing super, super hot. So like, those are the questions you should ask yourself. I'm neither super excited by Say, and I don't dislike anything about Say from what I can see, what I've heard, what I'm looking at now. I'm on their Block Explorer trying to find some information. It looks all pretty solid.
Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't rock my jollies. I don't know what saying I'm trying to go with here, but like, it doesn't
rock my jollies. I like
rock my
that.
jollies.
Stick with rock my jollies.
Let's put it on a t-shirt. Yeah.
It doesn't rock my jollies, guys. I like my jollies rocked. Every now and again.
Welcome to After Dark. Where
Only on Tuesdays.
Yeah, and guess what, guys? I don't even have a single Guinness in me because I didn't have a chance to go to the grocery store today. But I'd grade this probably just like a B minus. There are a lot of B's, like a B minus.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a C. No comment.
I'm with you. I'm with him.
Hold on a second. Let me.
I've said my piece. It's just a C.
Yeah. Okay.
To quote Will, it could be good. It could be shit. It's fine.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
hang on a second. I got the wrong colored marker here.
Oh, how dare you! Let me see.
Oh, trying to do this with one hand. Haha.
Not ideal.
C. Are you guys okay if I give it a C plus? Just because it is a layer, it is a platform crypto, and I like to just
Sure.
No.
For the vibes, man.
Yes, it's fine. It's your whiteboard, Will.
C smiley face.
See smiley face. Okay, what are we doing next? Are we going to Rune?
I'd also like to point out that I think that each week goes by, we get further and further away from just doing A's, B's, C's, and T's.
I'm actually working on a full proposal to swap out the letter grade with just words. Just like
And people just gotta know.
Based on the vibe.
Every single word is just an inside joke, though. So, like, if people want to know it's good or bad, they just have to really be listening to every episode.
Oh my gosh!
This is how we incentivize long-term listenership. By grading everything with inside jokes.
Long-term listenership or fast unfollows. We'll see.
Yeah, one of the two. We live fast and hard here, guys. So, hey, we have just enough time to do Quant, to do Rune or Thorchain, and then probably get another one
from the audience. Yeah, we can keep it quick. What do you like, Will?
Let's do Quant, because this should be interesting. This is a coin that has it had everybody's attention in 2023 as a part of this ISO 20012 narrative that was going around. That was a mandate amongst communication of banks. And there was some explanation that cryptocurrencies can solve this and it'll be compliant with that. And then these banks and organizations can use this. And I don't know why people thought cryptocurrencies would be used in some banking regulation. It never made sense. And the reason why, when I first heard about Quant, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool, because basically they're trying to make building on the blockchain really easy, and that's kind of their main marketing shtick. If you go on their website, if I remember correctly, it's make it easy to build and deploy and use. Build on here if you're a business. Build on here if you are a person. Any other kind of thing. And the death knell of me being oh, I'm never going to pay attention to this coin was actually because an influencer who I hate loved it. Loved it. And I went, oh, I immediately hate everything about this coin.
A petty bias, yeah.
It was Bit Boy or whatever, the guy who used to be in control of Discover Crypto, which is now
BitBoy or whatever. You mean only the biggest name in crypto content this century?
Whatever. Fuck that guy. I hated that dude so much. The first time I saw him, I went, oh, I hate him and he's a sack of shit. I dislike him. You know what? I will keep all other creators out of my mouth. But him. I hate that dude.
Get your name out my... I will say I watched his content and it made me really want to do this, because I said if this guy can do it and get this kind of response, I'll be set for life. You know what I mean?
Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad that was your reaction. So I was like, Evan, you're about to say fucking words. But yeah, so I just very much so disliked BitBoy Crypto, and anything he touched, I just immediately knee-jerk reaction disliked. And he was he was the guy running with the ISO narrative that cryptos would be adopted. And Quant was in that category of coins, along with a handful of others. And then that trend, crazy, turned out no one was looking at cryptocurrency to be included into that regulatory requirement. But do you guys have any other more detailed information about Quant, maybe what makes it special, what makes it different, what it's trying to do, other than
I got the fast summary for you.
Yeah, because I tried to do an overview, and then it just became me talking about how much
No,
I...
you're good. I'm going to add everything. I'm going to augment what you said with a couple of words and terms that'll be helpful. Quant's big thing, their big buzzword is the overledger. If you've heard somebody talking about the overledger, they're talking about Quant. And this is a word that they have coined to describe their textability that they promise will allow for communication across many blockchains easily, quickly, so that, like Will said, businesses can build on it with little friction. Despite its promised utility, the token has been underwhelming. There's limited retail hype compared to other layer ones. There's just not a lot of speculative excitement outside of niche communities. There's no DeFi, there's no NFTs. News is at a slow pace. The utility is like enterprise first. Primarily developers and businesses use it to access the Overledger network, but it's not really relevant for retail users or speculators who don't have to directly interact with it. And, Quant doesn't have staking. So that plus all the stuff that's going on in the market, and there's other interoperable projects people are using. It just hasn't got a lot of speculative catalyst to poise it for real growth. And there's a lot of salty bag holders. The first time I heard about it was in a Crypto Mason video, and I love Mason. I know him and I love him. He has a sweet spot in my heart. And but he was doing this overledger technology like it's a big deal, going to change the world. That's the promise of it. And it's another example of just because the tech is really great, really good, doesn't mean it's a good investment or a good investment
Not even that good.
For you. The venture capitalists have already gotten in. Early people have gotten in. They need to sell it to somebody else. This is how a lot of these projects make their money.
Also, this coin was made in 2019, guys. It's an old coin. You had a lot of people buy at the high in 2021. Salty bag holders. It's hard for a coin like that to make a new all-time high unless it's really getting adoption. And as Evan went over, it's not.
It's had a few projects that have done stuff with it, and whenever a project has a really specifically targeted use case and they get any adoption within that target audience and nothing good happens for the network or any of the holders, that's a pretty good indication that it's not really that great. Also, the whole Overledger tech thing as being this amazing technological marvel makes me queasy because it's mostly bullshit and buzzy marketing, and it's really not that good. It's not that cool. I mean, don't take my word for it. Ask engineers. Talk to, if there's any developers or engineers in here, I would love to hear why is the Overledger anything special? Basically, a good way to think about this, if you want to compare it to something else that we've probably heard of, is you could take its exact utilitarian use case proposal and compare it to Polkadot and Cosmos. And then you'd be like, okay, Quant is only relatively appealing to enterprise levels and barely at that, whereas Cosmos and Polkadot is appealing to both of them. And none of those three are doing great investability wise. So what does that tell you about this? That one, it's got a shitload of competition, and two, this sector of the space, which is highly competitive, is not really doing that great from an investment standpoint. It's I don't like Quant. I think it's stupid. I've thought it was stupid from day one.
Yeah, I'd give it a D just out the gate, just because it doesn't have adoption, it doesn't do anything special. It's targeting a much smaller audience that can't drive the price up. That smaller audience being institutions, and there's just so many competitors out there who are just going to go use Ethereum.
But even in the adoption stand, I mean, the Bank of England did a CBDC experiment thing with it. There was some other experimentation with it and a couple other little things, and no one gives a shit. Nobody cares. Nobody likes CBDCs. No one likes to talk about them. So, nobody cares that a financial institution is experimenting with it to build their own more controllable digital currency. That's not a thing that is going to spark any mass interest. And there is no incentive, nor is it user friendly enough for everyday people to go on there and start doing stuff the way that they would on any other layer, whatever you want to call it. So it doesn't do anything for anybody, It's just stupid.
Basically. Okay, so I'm with you. I would give it probably
No.
a D minus. Or you'd give it your no.
Well, I missed the first few. I would have, for the record, I would have given pi my no. But since I missed pi, I'll give it to Quant.
Yeah, I'll give Quant a D. And here's one thing: it's like if you want to hang your hat on, the Bank of England and maybe another organization, testing out central bank digital currencies on Quant. If you're going to hang your hat on that, then you have to go look at Algorand. Because Algorand was like the CBDC king last cycle. Like there was like so much speculation that Algorand was going to be the foundation for CBDCs for so many different countries. And then every single country said, no, we're not using you. And Algorand is better than Quant in probably every single
Just
way
about.
from what I've seen. So then ask yourself the question, like, so why would Quant win? It won't. But so that's it. I would give it a D because also fuck BitBoy. Anyway.
So we're rolling. We're doing good. So okay, so we got Rune, and then I guess we need suggestions from the audience. Give us your picks for the last token of the night after we do Rune, and then be prepared because we'll do our picks for top token of the night, final thoughts, words of wisdom, all that stuff, and we'll give you another reminder to hop in the Discord, which you can find at discord.gg/rise. Rind up. What are we, a bunch of melons? Discord.gg/rise up.
Before we do Rune, Aztec asked, I'm curious to get all of your opinions on this because I have a pretty succinct thought, but in order for a project to pump or moon, I'm going to put those in quotes, what kind of real world problem would it need to solve?
What kind of real world problem it would need to solve? Well, it depends on the use case. Like DPin's use case solves a real world pain point in regards to GPU supply chain. Decentralized science tries to solve the real world pain point of it being a very difficult and arduous process to get funding and approval to go and do certain scientific research. So the pain point there is the slow speed potentially at getting new medicine and doing new experiments and things like that. The pain point for DeFi is get the middlemen that make it expensive for you to go and do trades, but also the regulations that stop you maybe in your country from being able to invest in certain assets in certain markets. So the pain point is your financial freedom, as well as being able to get access to higher yields on things, right? So it depends. Each general hot trend is typically a hot trend because there is a pain point it's trying to address. Sometimes they're successful, most times they're not. Like we talked about earlier, DPin right now isn't being very successful from an adoption standpoint because the pain point in the world has changed, because the supply chain issues changed that were affecting GPU supply in the world. So that's the thing is it's hard to answer that question, but the way that you start to answer that for each coin is you go, cool, what is this coin trying to do? And then take a step out of the blockchain space, get back into the real world and go, is this a problem in the real world? Whether that's finance or whatever. And maybe you have to do a little bit of research. Maybe go and do research and it has nothing to do with blockchain. It just has to do with you understanding a new industry and some of the basic challenges. And you can find like very basic articles on all of that stuff because there are so many analysts out there whose full-time job it is to talk about these kinds of issues, right? And then just start to discover what the problem is in the real world and then say, cool, does this blockchain technology help solve that? Yes or no? Most of the time it's going to be no in the crypto space. But when you do find a yes, you go, this is something I need to pay attention to, right?
Alex,
that's my answer to your question.
Would you repeat the question too? Because I got a lot from that, but I want to make sure I heard the question correctly.
Yeah, the question was essentially just in order for something to moon or to perform well as an investment, what kind of real world problem does it need to solve?
Yeah, and the thing is like DeSci coins went up by a lot, DPin coins have gone up by a lot, DeFi coins have gone up by a lot. I feel like I'm doing a song. So, as long as you're solving a real world pain point,
I don't think those tokens are solving those pain points, though. Do you?
No,
do you really
they
think?
don't, but-
I think there's a
No,
difference
no.
between tokens that solve a real world problem that go up in value. If they solve the problem, I think they have to have sustainable incentives and they have to have good incentives. They have to be scalable. That's it. I think there are a lot of tokens that don't solve the problem, but that hint at solving the problem that people know is there. And because people don't know any better.
Yes,
Yeah.
but here's the thing, though, is every single hot trend starts with one project that's really trying to do it, and then the trend gets filled with garbage copycats that are just trying to get money.
Yeah, you're right about
you
that.
gotta look at that first mover, like Ondo. Look at Ondo and tokenization of real world assets. They're the ones there. Uniswap on DeFi, they're still doing great.
Doge.
DeFi is not a great example because that trend's kind of come and gone. But you get that first mover, and then you get all the shit that follows afterwards. But the trends get created by the first company or organization that's like, hey, we can do this. Here's a pain point, and then people in crypto finally hear something that can actually be potentially maybe useful, and everyone goes, "Oh my god!" and we lose our minds about it, right?
Alex, what's your thought?
Just that, in order for it's kind of goes back to the thing that I said about Arbitrum, honestly, where it's not really about, like, pumpamentals of a project are not really about solving a problem. It's about convincing people that you're solving a problem, regardless of whether or not anyone actually has the problem. So there's always the narrative. There's the narrative that we all chase. It's pretty obvious which one we're in at the time, when everything is pumping, because it's the one that everybody is shilling. In that case, it's really hard to say. I don't know, man. It's a tough question just because there's really not a ton of rhyme or reason. Like Arbitrum is a great example. It is very, very solid project that is actively doing something that people enjoy and find value in, and it doesn't perform that great. So it's really tough. I don't know that, like, solving a problem is necessarily the right question to answer for yourself if you're just trying to determine, like, which thing has the potential to pump like crazy.
Yeah.
And what has the potential to pump like crazy is the $1 million question that we all spend the bull market.
I do think, though, the biggest wealth in terms of people who bet and bet well will be made by people who saw where the future was going and saw one early company's ability to have a good solution that gets enough attention, that is sustainable and can start to scale. Like Will said, those first movers that actually solve a problem. I'm thinking of Ondo. I think Eigenlayer is going to be a company like that. I think, I think Ethereum, we're going to look back in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years and be like, wow, I had no idea it was going to be this big. But some people will say, yeah, I did. I knew it, they'll be big. And people who are confident early and are right and make the money. I don't know. That's a very interesting question. I'm ready on Thorchain or Rune, if you are, Will. And I don't know what token people said in the comments. I wasn't watching terribly well. I'm so sorry.
Well, we'll get that next, assuming we have time. So let's do Thorchain. Now, I kind of forget Thorchain, but I do remember that it's an interoperable blockchain that combines, like, Bitcoin and Ethereum and Dogecoin and, like, a handful of others and lets you swap between them. I feel like it was one of the first ones that really let you do that. I think I had some staking. Finally, my website just loaded. But yeah,
Nice.
It's a cross-chain lending for Bitcoin, Avalanche, Cosmos, Ethereum, BNB, Dogecoin, and then a stable coin here and there. And that's it. Oh, and Bitcoin Cash, too.
Bitcoin Cash, who could forget?
Who can forget?
There's been a number of periods of poor price performance for Rune, and a lot of it has had to do with hacks and security breaches that they've experienced. They had a real big run of exploits in 2021, millions of dollars in losses. And it's because there's a lot of surface area. When they're facilitating the transfer of tokens between many different people and many different exchanges, there's a lot of room for a hacker to get in and take your money. It's not something I pay that close attention to. And I know, though, that there is a lot of competition, that there are many people doing cross-chain swaps. I think Cosmos has infrastructure interoperability that's pretty progressive. People use
When
it.
in doubt, any interoperability play is competing with Cosmos.
Yeah, right. I'm sure. And I don't know. I just haven't seen it a lot in the news. That's honestly about all I have for that. That when I did a search for news, I saw that they did ThorFi, which seemed like a half-hearted DeFi attempt, but introduces lending and borrowing, which is cool. It's still kind of new, and I don't know what the impact has been on price. So we'll see. And it looks like they're working to improve the security. Looks like the team is working, but what are you looking at in numbers here, Will? Is this DeFi Llama?
This is DeFi Llama. On Thorchain, there's a total right now of $219 million in TVL, so it's very small. And the big thing I want to point out is small is not necessarily something to just like poo-poo, but rate when it's small, and then the rate of growth going back to November of 2023 has been just constant. So no one's putting their ruin on, but no one's taking their ruin off of the DeFi environment or of their environment in total. This tells me that they have experienced zero growth at a time when Bitcoin's price and altcoins and overall TVL was on the rise. That puts the growth of Thorchain, of Rune, in terms of an adoption standpoint, at inversely correlated, or actually not inversely correlated, not correlated at all to bullish momentum in TVL growth or DeFi growth and the growth of altcoins and Bitcoin, which is not a good place you want to be. It's not a good place you want to be.
Yeah, well said.
So, Alex, do you have anything else you want to add about Rune, Thorchain?
No, not really. I guess maybe just a little bit to say that I think the idea of it is cool. I love unique, or at least semi-unique DeFi plays because I love DeFi. DeFi brought me to Web3. I think, though, that was it literally just today.
My dad can beat up your dad. Little old Brad is a dumbass.
I was just vamping for you, Alex.
No, actually, Evan, the last one is perfect. We saw today on full display Brad being a dumbass. And that's actually what I was going to say. That's the perfect sound for this, because I was actually going to say that Congress heard the first congressional panel on DeFi today.
Yeah.
I didn't look into that at all.
And spoiler alert, Brad Sherman is a dumbass.
Little old Brad is a dumbass.
Isn't he like the senator or whatever, like the older guy?
Senator Brad Sherman. Yeah, he
You have to be more specific.
He looks like a character from Wallace and Gromit.
I think I know exactly who you're talking about. Yes! I knew exactly who you're talking about. When you said character from Wallace and Gromit, I was like, I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah.
And I'm
Poor
sorry.
guy.
That's probably denigrating poor Gromit and Wallace, because I love Wallace and Gromit. Does he not look like a character from Wallace and Gromit?
Yes, yes.
This dude sucks. Okay,
He does suck.
So anyway, but the reason that I bring it up, not to sit here and just shit on Brad Sherman, even though I would do happily.
He tries, man. He tries.
No, he doesn't try.
I just love how the soundboard that Evan chose just happened to actually be perfectly spot on.
Perfect timing.
It's a gift.
No, we could truly sit here and do an entire stream, and honestly, I would, just to make fun of Brad Sherman for being bad. But just because DeFi is now on Congress's radar specifically, and I think that something will probably at least be proposed, in the whatever. And if Brad Sherman is the one who pens the proposal, it's gonna be bad, and that's gonna probably make DeFi stuff suffer a little bit. Personally, I wouldn't be too worried about it because Brad Sherman, thankfully, is in the minority. Hang on 1 second.
Is he stalking you? Is he in your house right now? Oh my gosh.
No, just
Brad Sherman in your house.
I wish that it was moving to Belize who asked for Rune tonight. I think in our Discord is their handle, and I wish they were here to tell us more what they liked about it, because I just don't like a ton about it.
Yeah, if you guys have some things about Rune that you like, let us know. If you think there are things that we're missing, let us know. And if you've been here through the whole chat, I'll show you guys the screen again. We'll go through the grades of what we have, and then we'll give Rune our final our grade here. But Fetch got a B. Pi got a hell nah.
Hell no.
Arbitrum got a B minus. Rune is ungraded. Quant got a D, and Alex said no. Doge is the bestest.
Just a quick one.
Doge is the bestest boy. A+++++++ smiley face. We wouldn't buy it though. Maybe just to like have one for shits and giggles.
We just love it.
Say got a C smiley face. And then Origin Trail also got a B. So that's where we're at right now. Let us know if you guys find any of these grades egregious. Definitely the most B's we've had on the board any night. But now we have Alex back, which means I no longer have to stall. So here we go.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, I would just wrap up Thor just saying like it's an interesting thing. The TVL makes me a little squeamish. Its overall performance makes me a little squeamish. I feel no strong desire to acquire any of it. And right now I wouldn't say on edge, but like I'm very curious to see if this panel is going to result in us like hearing anything, especially at a time when the SEC has not been fully smacked back into submission post Chevron, and there's still some muddling from them in the DeFi world. So, regulatorily speaking, DeFi is one of the things that the crypto naysayers in Congress are the most concerned about, because in the words of dumbass Brad Sherman today, its only purpose is for billionaires to launder their money. Although the clapback from one of the expert witnesses on that was brilliant.
It was immense.
Basically just saying like, just because he exactly pointed out the things that like we say all the time, that like laundering your money on an open ledger is the dumbest way you could launder your money. And it's way more likely that because anyone and their grandmother can get a shell corporation set up in any tropical island, that's how you're going to launder your money. And I was like, God, someone give that man a beer.
It's such an easy argument that everyone then just goes, no matter how old or how out of touch you are with technology, just goes, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is dumb. That would be dumb. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Thor is interesting, but it's more of just like that's interesting, not like that's interesting, I'd like to get some. So I don't really care about it, to be honest. It may.
Yeah.
So your grade is, you would give it
I'd give it a C, I guess, just because I think that it's... What was that face for?
I don't know. It just seems generous.
Yeah, I was going to go with a D.
Me too, man.
It's just stupid.
In the wake, so it loses points because there have been exploits, but lots of things have gotten exploits, including Ronin, which is something that I do enjoy a lot, and pretty much everything has been hacked at least once. I think it's unique. It's kind of neat. It's a cross-chain liquidity swap play. It's complex. I don't think it has a great play to like get a bunch of users, because it's kind of a pain in the ass to use, and it's way easier to use. Just pick your favorite chain and use dbridge. So I don't know. C was just kind of like my. It's okay. Like I wouldn't get it. It doesn't do nothing for me. But like I can't sit here and tell you that it's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Okay. I can't tell you that it's a piece of shit. I'm going to give it just a D plus myself. Evan gives it a D. Alex, you give it a C. I'm pretty sure that averages out to a C minus, actually.
I think go for it. You're generous with those grades, man. I don't think that's bad though.
No. Oh, hang on a second. I just dropped. I got
ink.
And
there it is. Emily and Mia. It was me that asked for Rune. I just was interested for the reasons Alex just said. Okay. Well, I am open to having my mind changed. You know how it is. I like to keep it simple, not have too many tokens that are taking up my time and attention. I like to know enough about everything that I can have conversations about it with you guys. But I don't have time to be invested in tracking all these tokens like that, using all these tokens,
Yeah, it's too much. It's too much.
It's too much. That's why I have the community. So you gotta thank you for being
It is a
here.
lot.
Yeah.
It is too much.
It is too much. Okay, so do we want to take one more from the audience? Do you think we have time?
Let's say we have 10 minutes left, guys. Let us know.
Let us know, and we can do a quick rapid fire round of our final grades if you want to do that. My pick of the night is I'll go first and tell you it's going to be Pi. It's a hell no. I'm highlighting it here and giving it my platform, not to make it an honorable pick, but a dishonorable one. If I had cabbages and tomatoes to throw at something, I would throw them. I'm so over it. Don't spend your time and attention on it. If I am your big brother and I come into your room and you're playing on your phone and you're doing your little pie mining thing, I am going to hide your phone in the dog's bowl. I just don't like it.
Anything that says you can do mining on your phone, just don't go there. Don't go there.
Don't go there. That's my pick of the night. I don't know if you guys got a pick of the night.
Mine just has to be Doge because it makes me happy. You know, for the culture, for the people. It means so much to us in all of our hearts. Doge.
I love it. I love it. I needed
Number
someone to
one
pick
heart.
Doge tonight. Yeah.
You know, number one on the coin market. You know, Doge do $1 million.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother.
Well, hey, we see some people here. I see Sonic, I see Ave, I see Storage, I see Phantom. I see 2 people with Phantom. That's the only double up I've seen so far, so the Phantoms might have it. Let me just double check, make sure we haven't done Phantom.
There was one more double up. For no, it just looked like it for Sonic. Phantom is the only one I see. And we have had 2 Aves, but Ave honestly seems like I don't know that I could do it quickly because there's a lot to talk about.
We could probably spend like 15 minutes on Ave.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's start looking
for Phantom. Is that real?
What?
Is Sonic actually
Is
the
it?
new name for Phantom?
No way. Is it? I'm behind. If that's the case, why are you getting your news from me? Let me tell you what. I know they had an upgrade recently, whose name escapes me, that had bump in price activity. Our friend Mac Lorden had a hit on a 20x leverage trade that he pulled just for giggles with Phantom because he thought the upgrade was going to impact the price, and it did.
Yeah, I remember Phantom now. Phantom was an ecosystem that was supposed to be specifically built for DeFi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's been around.
It's been around for a while, and I just pulled up its DeFi llama, and it is abysmal.
It is.
Yeah, it is. It used to be amazing. It used to be in the billions and billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know, I'm not talking shit. Phantom, it is a cyclic graph. It's a type of blockchain. Well, actually, it's not a blockchain, but it's meant to. A DAG is meant to be scalable. It's a smart contract platform providing DeFi services to developers, and its entire focus is supposed to be on DeFi. Now, in the bull cycle of 2021 to 2022, we got to a high of $7.7 billion for total value locked. It is now 1% of that. It is 1% of that, and you can see the TVL today is not good. Now, did they just like change blockchains or something, or is this like real? Because if this is real, then Phantom isn't something that anyone should ever touch.
No, they didn't change blockchains. It's an L1, but it's just got a lot of competition to maintain relevance.
Yeah, let's say over the past month, the number one application, DeFi application, which is called Beethoven X, by the way,
Cute.
has experienced a fall of 61.2% growth.
Wow.
So yeah, the DeFi environment of Phantom is toast, and if Phantom's main focus is DeFi, they're not doing a very good job.
So Sonic is its testnet upgrade. The Sonic upgrade is reducing storage requirements, and it's an EVM compatible Testnet. The only thing I really remember about Phantom was like back in the day when, was it the first time I went to the
Dude, I hoped you were going to tell this story.
Yeah.
You tell.
briefly met on the same day that I briefly met
Us.
Not me. Yeah. Well, yes.
It was our first time, Alex.
It
How
was
could you
our
forget?
No, it's not. Just wasn't where I was going, because we saw Mark Cuban, and this was just really funny to watch this juxtaposition, because Mark Cuban came to the conference completely by himself, and then also Harry Ye came to the conference. Harry Ye was a much smaller in every way, shape, and form billionaire than Mark Cuban. And my experience with Harry Ye was getting hip checked out of the way by his security entourage as he big dick swang into the conference floor and just like walked through the center with his security guards just jostling everybody, and then gave a speech about it. And his only claim to fame at the time was that he owned a lot of Phantom.
I think he was involved with Phantom. I think he was a major stakeholder.
He still is.
Owner.
He still is, to be clear. He owns a shitload of it, and he chairs some sort of like finance fintech thingy using Phantom on Phantom. Although if you Google it now, he's moved on to something else, but his name is still attached to Phantom. But yeah, so I don't know, because Phantom was like the headline sponsor for the conference that year. Specifically, Tomb Finance was, which was a DEX.
Yeah.
So guys, 2 weeks ago, Phantom had a multi-chain bridge hack.
Brilliant.
Up to $126 million.
Womp womp.
Ouch.
Womp, 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 womp. So that's not a good look. And this article is saying Phantom to zero.
Okay, now hang on. I found a new network. A new source telling us that what Dr. Zach says is this. Alex, you're right. It's a new test net, the Sonic test net, but it is going to become the Sonic network. It will go live on September 6th, and the token will migrate from FTM to just S. It's expected to be a, done for you migration, kind of like, the Merit Circle migration or any of the other stuff. Who knows if that'll be a catalyst for big growth? I would expect speculators to pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I just kind of look at it as like a rebrand.
Totally. It's a bit to remain relevant.
Why aren't you going to just be on Solana or Base or, there's so much competition out there. And also the folks at Phantom already proved that they're really great at losing the interest of DeFi investors.
Yeah.
They've already proven that they are losers.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And I'm not surprised.
I can't even begin to think of any reason that I would DeFi on Phantom instead of Solana.
Anywhere else. Literally anywhere else.
Yeah. Or ETH or...
The only reason I would DeFi on Phantom is if we were back at the wharf with Harry Ye and his 8 NFL-sized bodyguards, and he was looking over my shoulder like, bro, try the app. And I'd be like, okay. Yeah, I would give it a C minus D. I'd give it a D. I'm giving out a lot of D's tonight.
Up an interesting talking point, though. Are we in the rebrand meta right now? Because it seems to be the move.
It is so. We've been in that meta for a while now. I think near Avalanche, Stellar is having. People are having their moment in the sun. It's like that scene in the movie when the girl takes off her glasses and some guy says to her, "You're kind of beautiful." Like that's what's happening in crypto right now with all these projects who've been here forever.
Except in crypto, when we rebrand, it's everyone looking at me like, "Oh nope, it's still bullshit."
You're looking at it like that. I'd give it a D.
Yeah, I don't. I have no interest in Phantom.
Yeah. Let's see.
My grandmother would say it's nothing to write home about.
I'm giving it a D minus because I feel like it should be the worst grade.
And it doesn't mean it's not going to do good. Like Dr. Zach says, maybe it will. That's just a grade that signifies that for us, we're really not interested in paying more attention into it.
Yep.
Yeah. Unless, happy to change my opinion if the S network starts getting TVL.
And let me quickly say, if you're one of those people who's interested in like how to migrate your tokens, like maybe you're holding them on Coinbase or crypto.com and you don't know when the migration happens, if you need to do something with your tokens, just because we're not interested in that doesn't mean if you wanted to know that, you should share that. You should come back to our show and we can make that a talking point if it's what our community wants to hear about. You can post it in the Discord at discord.gg/riseup and we can find a link and all that kind of stuff. I really don't want to discourage you just because we gave your token a bad grade tonight or on a past episode that we don't like it. We don't like you. Like, listen, we're trying to show you how we make decisions for ourselves. So like Will says, you can make decisions for yourself, become a more self-sufficient investor. I always smile when I see Will on my For You page and he gives me the sign off, okay, go make money, because it's just like, it doesn't, we don't care. If you make money, that's great. Go make your money. Be smart, be safe.
I want you to make a bunch of money and walk away happy.
Yeah.
And live good life, do good things, and be good people, and wash your skin and take care of it.
Drink water.
I did see drink water. I did see one question that's like, have there been any A's?
We gave Tony an A. Oh no.
Aerodrome got an A-, but with the stipulation that it's a horrible coin to hold when Bitcoin goes down. Avalanche got an A-.
That's right. I think Link got an A.
Ondo got an A-. Sui got a B+ A-. Sui was right on the line. That was on the first night. Second night, Chainlink got an A-. No other A's for that night.
Ton got an A. That was that night, wasn't it? Or did you say Ton already?
Oh wait, why do I not see it on this board?
I think Ton is our
wrong?
only straight A that we have given. And immediately afterward, Pavel Durov got arrested and the blockchain went down twice.
Yes. Toncoin got an A, and then immediately the head of Telegram got arrested, and then Toncoin's blockchain froze.
Also on our highlight reel, we gave Velo, I think, a C-, and the next day it pumped like 50%. So,
And then Axelar also got an A-. So it's like a big surprise for all of us.
I wasn't here for that
Axelar
one.
got an A-. Yeah, it's definitely a coin worth checking out. I would say Axelar is definitely worth going to our YouTube channel and watching the clip with myself, Alex, and Michael, because everyone wasn't able to join us. He's the former SEC lawyer, and we were able to talk about Axelar for the first time, and it was really, really fascinating.
Honestly, it sounds like you guys might have gotten an upgrade with that one.
No. Never enough.
Just a unique perspective that none of us
Yeah.
are qualified to give.
I still haven't seen the episode yet. I need to go back and watch it.
I
Gotta go watch it.
have to say just right before we leave that you guys are missing out on Machinery's comments here.
Oh no! I always love Machinery's comments. You fill me
of
in.
trashing your coin, and then, don't worry, guys, it can still do great.
Don't worry, guys. It's going to do great. Just to cover our asses.
Yeah. Oh my gosh! Everyone's gonna unfollow us for Calvin Hill now.
Well, guys, that is the time that we have. It has been 2 fantastic hours. We have been grading coins for all 2 hours. Appreciate all the likes. Appreciate the comments, everybody. And again, if you want to make sure your coin gets on the board, yes, we take some in the chat, but we put more on the board to review in our Discord. You can find the links on any of our pages. Come in and join, but not only for the reason of putting altcoins on here, to come in, build a network, start networking, have a community of people to ask questions. We've helped people find money they couldn't find before. We've helped people avoid scams, get access to us to help guide you and teach you how to be in your own self-sufficient trader and investor, but also to be able to navigate this on-chain Web3 space on your own, confidently and safely. And the only way you can do that is by having good resources available and good people in your corner. And we very much so want to be some of those if we can earn your trust. And we will always strive to earn your trust continuously. So thank you so much for joining, guys. This is the 4th episode of Rise Up After Dark. I will take a picture of the board. I will put it into the Discord. Thank you very much for your time. Alex, Evan, great shooting the shit with you guys.
Thanks for hosting, Will.
As always. Yeah, of course. I'll talk to you guys later. And everybody, have a great rest of your night. Do good things. Be good people. Make a bunch of money. All that good stuff. See you guys.
Little old Brad is a dumbass.